Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen. We are back with me learning to make games again. So, what I've what I'm going to do first of all is we're going to deal with my camera positioning. Let's pop this here. Let's pop that. The lower layer should be behind. There we go. Put me up in the corner and then we'll make this a bit bigger. Let's put me to the side actually. There we go, we'll do it like that. And I'm tucked away out of the way. I need to put an inversion filter on the camera so that it behaves like a mirror. Alright, so I've got my coffee with my cat on it. I've no idea where this cup came from, but we've had it for years. I've got a couple of Vietnamese whirls on a plate, which I will be eating throughout the thing. I'll try to turn the mic off if I remember. First thing I want to do is a bit of a shouty outy to Axiom GD 5416, who explained to me what the export variable type means and also onReady. So I'm just going to read it out. It turns out I knew this as soon as I read it. I was like, oh, because I have tried to learn Unity in the past, and there are some parallels. So at export var means the variable is saved to the scene itself, which means you can create a new scene of that particular scene. You can edit the variables directly in the editor. So what that essentially does is create a little box in the Godot page that you can go and change the numbers of. At onReady, I still don't fully understand this, but we talked about it a little bit. Means the variable is loaded when the _ready function is run, which is a built-in function to Godot script, I think. Which is a built-in function that runs when the scene/resource is loaded. You could put the variable in the ready function instead, but this just makes the syntax a little nicer. And he, she or they say, hope this helps. I say thank you so much. Now that you've explained it, I realise I knew what export did. onReady, however, I'm asking here, is it as though it's saying when the scene loads, you can muck about with the thing straight away instead of having to prepare it, essentially? And it's me saying thanks for watching. And yeah, that's exactly what onReady does. So I still haven't fully grasped it. It often takes me a few revisits of a concept for it to make sense, which is exactly why I'm doing these videos, so I can go back and watch. I feel like this screen is giving a strange view of my suggested YouTube stuff here. We've got Dungeons of Drakkenheim, Veritasium, Ginny D, which I think I've never watched, Vanity Fair, Millie Bobby Brown rewatches Stranger Things, Spiffing Brit, who's great, and then Retro Game Court, so I think I've watched one video of. Anyway, I'll probably cut that out. Who knows, I might leave that in. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to revisit what I worked on yesterday, not on camera, and see how I get on. So I think I'm not using Git or any version control or anything, so I want to see if I can duplicate this project first. Edit, run, rename, manage tags, remove. I guess I could just open it and save as. Yeah. So I'm going to create essentially like a backup version or a fork to work on, because I'm going to delete a load of the work I did yesterday and then try and recreate it. First of all, I'll show you what I did. So let's run this this scene. So the green ninja will now run around. He is able to go behind these trees. There's no collision or anything like that. He can go over the flowers. You know, it's one of the flowers is not animated, one of the other ones is. And if you look in the, I'm going to point at the screen there. I'll use the mouse pointer. If you look here, 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 and here, there is grass scattered around. And we achieved that using the tileset, tile map node and the tilesets feature, which I'll explain in a bit more detail. We kind of covered it in an earlier video when I was muddling through it myself, making a thing with the mouse, but not in as much detail as this, and I don't have any collision yet. So first things first, how the hell do I save? Export as, save all C's, save scene as. Here we go, world. Yeah, that's saving the scene. I want to save the whole project. Version control export. Interesting. How to duplicate project in Godot. Okay, so we have to do that in File Manager. So let's go find the project. Let's copy that. 2,317 items. Flippin' heck. That's a lot of items. Is that like every line of text? Oh yeah, forgotten how to rename stuff. Fork copy. There we go. It's kind of like having my own little Git account there. Right, so I'm thinking now, if I close... Oh, can I load a new project through here? Oop, doesn't look like it. If I just close this, it's not there. Import. Here we go. Nice. If you stuck with me through that, thank you. That's exactly the purpose of these videos, is to record the process of me like working things out so that when I go back and review it, I'm more likely to remember it because I'm kind of re-walking that thinking process. And sometimes, as you probably know watching this, sometimes it's slow and weird and not particularly efficient. I don't know what this means. I'm sure we'll find out. If you're watching this and you know what this means, please feel free to let me know. Okay, so I'm going to walk back a lot of the work I did before. So let's completely remove the tile map node. Bosh. Let's completely remove tileset. Let's completely remove this tileset. And also I want to talk you through, because I was kind of following the tutorial from MakerTech, I want to follow you through a script change that we made. Now, there was an issue where an error was being thrown up that was only in the debug log, where, because the way this was worded was like this: if velocity.length is equal to 0, animation stop. However, that wouldn't apply if there wasn't already an animation running. So it's throwing up an error going that this piece of code was essentially here sending an instruction to do nothing. So that was solved by putting in if animations dot is playing, which is a piece of, what's it called, like dot coding or something. This is a thing that appends from animation player up here. Then stop. If it isn't, don't worry. And then all of this stuff got put into else. So at the end of my last video, this looked like basically like that. And now it looks like this, with this little if thing, and then all of this in else. I declared direction, and then I had down with an actual instruction. Okay, So I've removed everything I did yesterday off camera. Now I'm going to try and recreate it. So the first thing I want to do is attach to the world node a tile map. So we're going to go here, and this is where I might get a bit lost. So you go here, go to new tile set. I want to just check that the Z indexing on the player node is correct. Z index is currently set to 1. I don't know if that's right, but I'm going to remember it. And that's linked to like which layer you've got trees on and background on and stuff like that versus where they appear. It's a strange kind of overlapping thing. Right, tile map. So tiles, tile set. What we want to do is we want to go find, still in downloads actually, which is bad. Backgrounds, tile sets. Oh, I'm going to remove this animated flower as well. I'm going to do that later. What was it now? Tile set floor and tile set nature. So we're going to drag both of those in. Probably a more efficient way to import these actually. We'll put them under art, which is where I wanted them to go before. I don't know why they didn't go there by default. If you know, please tell me. And if you know how I can overcome that, maybe I hold down control or something weird. There we go, right. So they're all there. Tile set. Now this is where I can't remember what to do. So texture. The first thing we're going to try and do is we're going to try and put a plain green background behind the ninja. Because at the moment it's just grey. So tile map, tile set, tile map, tile set. Not sure where I put this, so let's do, drag this over, that's floor. We're going to automatically create tiles. I don't think I'm using any of these just now. Yeah, going to use this one here. I'm just going to drag the nature one over as well. And then automatically create tiles. And we've got a whole bunch of like flowers and trees and all that kind of thing, like you saw at the beginning of the video. So we're going to go here. Now we've automatically got our tiles. So I want to be in the world first of all. I want to be not looking at code. Here we go, 2D. And then we're going to highlight this tile. We're going to select the rectangle tool. This is some straight up like 1980s Microsoft Paint stuff here. And there we go. Oh, you may notice as well that actually I perfectly aligned the window with the grid. Before it was like slightly over. I kind of Googled aspect ratios and tried to do the maths to get the correct thing for the window. And in the end, I just did trial and error until it matched up. It was like 44 pixels. Let's have a look. Project settings, window. Yeah, 240 by 144 pixels. These are both I think these are both multiples of 16 or something, I'm not sure. Anyway, it all fits. So I now have a background. So if I hit play, the ninja is now walking around in a nice green background. However, it's a little bit plain. I'm actually finding that because I used the tutorial from MakerTech, this one here, I'm finding that I'm actually repeating some of the words that she says. I'm not sure if that is plagiarism or not, but hopefully not. If you want to learn like I'm learning, then go and check out that tutorial. I'll put the link in the description again. So, tile set. Now these are the ones with grass here. Let's log in. Let's zoom in, sorry, a bit more. Now I'm going to undo what I did, because what I didn't do was set a flipping layer. Here we go, layer. So name going to call it ground. That's going to be my first layer. I don't really understand yet how the Y sort thing works, but I do understand how Z index works. It's currently set to 0, which means it'll appear behind the little dude. If I do this and then change the Z index to 1, he disappears, or 2 or 3 or 4. So it has to be lower than what you want to be seeing. Kind of makes sense. So next thing we're going to do, which is a cool thing that I learnt, thank you MakerTech, is you can highlight all of these just by holding the mouse button down and clicking it. Do you like my mouse, by the way? It's cool. I got it for Christmas. And then there's this button here, which is a dice, and you can do that. Use it to place random tile. We're gonna, and then the way it works is this 0 is the probability of a tile not being drawn. So if I do, so first of all, if I get rid of that entirely, so we don't have that sort of plain background, you'll kind of see. If I do like the example given was 0.7, which seemed to be pretty good. I'll do this, and then you can see it's not drawing here. So that means I can just, so I deactivate scattering, put a plain green background in, highlight these, activate scattering, 0.7. We should end up with some scattered stuff. If I undo that and make that a bit higher, oops. I'm just experimenting a little bit here, because what happens if I do like 0.1? I don't know if that means more scattering or less. Oh, okay, so the lower number is less. So I want to do, I think I'll do 0.8. 0.8 is also the number that our frame animations kind of run at. So, oh, see here, I've accidentally highlighted only the one bit of grass, and you can see that it's just done that. So let's get all of these. Let's repeat that process. There we go, random grass. Cool. Save that. So that is a big part of what I learned yesterday. So that's good. So that's gone in. Next thing we're going to do is add another layer. I think it should automatically change the Z index when I add it. Add element Z index. No, it doesn't. So I'm going to have to make that one higher. We're going to call this layer foliage. When I watched MakerTech, she spelt it foliage like that. But it's foliage. Z index 1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find tileset nature, which we are on. Is that what we're on? No, we're on tileset floor. Here we go, tileset nature. And we're going to pick a flower. So let's pick this flower. And then we can just use the draw tool here. Just manually pop some flowers around. Oh. Now if I hit play, they're sort of observing the Z index order. I don't know why the alpha channel hasn't carried through. That's weird. Tileset nature. Tileset. Did I pick one that doesn't have alpha channel on it? No, it does. Oh, do I have to pick it from tileset or tile map? Interesting. I don't know what's going on. Right, let's go back to tile map. Tileset nature. I don't know why it's doing the grey background and not preserving the alpha channel. let's do the Z index and see if that works. No. They're just showing up underneath. Okay. Cool. So I've hit on a snag and I don't know what I've done wrong to cause that snag. So let's try and solve that problem. Oh, is it because I'm in the same layer? Ground. Foliage. Okay. So let's paint these into the foliage layer. Okay, so just a bit slower, so if you're interested in following along. What I had done there is I'd created a new layer for foliage, but then over here, where my mouse is, I hadn't selected that layer. So I was working in the ground layer, putting these flowers directly in, and for some reason that creates, like, I guess you'd call it an artifact of where the alpha channel, the invisible channel, is kind of pushing out the green behind it. Yeah, very weird and interesting. I wonder if that's deliberate or if that is just an error of some kind. Anyway, let's work in the foliage channel. Let's select a different flower. Let's go with this weird looking thing here. What is that even? I don't think I've ever seen a flower that looks like that. Awesome. Right, we'll save that and let's have a little look at the scene. We should be able to walk around over the top of the flowers. Oh no, under the flowers, and that is because I changed the Z index, so now I'm on top, and now I should be underneath. Let's restart the scene. Alright, yeah, cool. Okay, so the Z index is kind of linked to where things show up. Well, I'm happy with that piece of progress. So the next thing that I learned that I'm going to try and remember now is how to correctly make a large item like this into like instead of doing 4 tiles, make it one giant tile and make it kind of consistent with itself, because if you do it wrong it can mess it up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add another layer, call it trees. The Z index for that is going to be 1 because I want our little dude to run around underneath it. Now I might have to watch the tutorial again for this because I don't remember if it was in tileset or tile map. But basically, patterns, terrains, tiles. You have to kind of extend this one out somehow. Select these, shift, 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 shift. No, okay, I think it's in tile map. You highlight all, oh, not working in there. It needs to be working in trees. So you highlight all of these and then you have to kind of like go somewhere to edit. Shader editor? Nope, it's not there. Paint properties, texture origin. No, okay, that's not it. That's not it. Set up. What was it saying? Hold Control to create multiple tiles. Hold Shift to create big tiles. Ah, okay, so hold Shift. Maybe I have to do that under tile map. Have I created there a big tile? Okay. So in theory, I were to now paint. Okay, so that is doing what I want, right? Except what that's doing is creating 4 individual tiles, so I could actually like delete just one section of it, and that can create problems later because they're not consistent with themselves. I've got that much. Now I need to know how to extend this out, and there was a way to do it. Tile map. Picker, eraser. No, this is all for drawing on the drawing on the actual thing. It was like some editor or something. Tileset. Edit. Patterns? No. No, that's just the ID. Alright, I'm going to go back to the tutorial because I don't remember how to do that. Using tile maps and tile sets. Here we go.
Hi everyone, and
watch along with me if you like.
How to make an action RPG in Godot 4. In this episode, we will look at how we can create and use tile maps and tile sets to create a world for our player to.
Here we go, adding trees.
We then first go back to the tile map menu and select the new foliage layer. I then select the tile I want to draw, select the draw tool, and add a few flowers to the scene. The moment our tree is divided into 4 separate tiles. We could of course place the tree using these 4 tiles, but this can easily create a big mess later on. So instead we want the tree to consist of just one single tile. Delete 3 of the tree tiles by right-clicking on them and selecting delete. Now click the select button and then the last tree tile to select it.
Okay. Let's watch that again.
On. So instead we want the tree to consist of just one single tile. Delete 3 of the tree tiles by right-clicking on them and select.
Okay, so maybe I didn't have to highlight them. So where was she? Was she in tileset? She's in tileset. Okay, right. So delete. Delete. So although you're not deleting the picture, you're just deleting where it's got a created tile. Now you highlight this one.
Selecting delete. Now click the select button and then the last tree tile to select.
Okay, is there a shortcut for select? Maybe.
Selected. We want to increase the size of.
Okay, I'm going to try and get, so I've got a little hint there. I'm going to try and get to the rest myself. So I think doing that is the first bit, and then that creates one big tile that you can then paint, but it paints weirdly in the center like that, which is cool if that's what you want. All right, but for me personally, I think this looks a little bit odd, especially there. But yeah, if I were to play that now, the little ninja should run behind them, yeah, and straight through the trunk. But that's a problem for another day. So let's ditch that. So back in the tile set, there's something here to do with the coordinates that you have to change, and I don't remember exactly. Texture origin, maybe? So it's like it originates from the top left. I guess you can just set this however is your preference. Okay. 8 pixels, and now they're kind of centered. Some crumbs on my mouse there. Ooh, so let's save that. Run that and see if that works. Yeah, there we go. I haven't added collision maps to this or anything, which is why you can run through the trees. Okay, so we achieved that with a little bit of a bump from the tutorial there. I'm going to keep this page here because I have a feeling I might need it for the next bit. So that's how to sort of create some trees. I'm interested to challenge myself to add a collision map to this right now. Shall I? Yeah, go on. Tile map. Tile set nature. Don't know why I feel like I need to look at it all. Oh, but if I add a collision map now, these trees won't be correct. Can I just add a collision map to you? And what was it under again? So it's not layers. Process? No. Physics? No. Material? Texture? No. Transform? No, that's just, it's the way it looks. I think, I know it's like add, you add element. Maybe if I do, maybe if I write collision. Oh, that's it. That's it. Child node. Collision shape? No, that's not quite right, is it? Collision map. No, okay, right, it's not that. It's like a physics layer. You add a physics layer somewhere. So annoying because I flip in. Like I had this. I did this the other day. Ground, navigation, trees, element. Nope. Ordering, no. I feel like it was under process, but physics priority. Okay, I'm going to come back to that because I thought I would be able to just pick it out of my memory, but that has not worked. So let's stick with what we were doing, which was to create an animated flower. Now, what I need to do there is I need to go into background somewhere, wherever it was. Oh, it was just on it. Animated. Is this the right one? Nope. Maybe it's under plant. Here we go. Right, drag that over. Oh, that went straight into art this time. I'm going to rename that animated flower. And then, and this, I literally did this at the tail end of yesterday, and I was kind of pushing myself beyond what I thought I could retain, and I literally have no idea how to do this. So let's see. So for this one, I think we select no, we don't automatically want tiles because we basically want it to be a tile, the first one, and then it moves on to the next one, the next one, and the next one in sequence. So I'm going to hit no and hope that that's right. Then create a tile. So I have a tile. So that is now a tile. And then in theory, if I wanted to, I could just paint that tile on. If I went into tile map. Boom, like that. Cool. So that's the first bit. I also want this to be in foliage. Then, how do I add an animation? Is it here? Well, there's select an animation player node. I think it wasn't this. I think it was like more simple. Yeah, I can't remember. Let's go watch the tutorial.
Of the tile. So we go to the property named size in Atlas and set both x and y to 2. Now we have the whole tree included in one single tile. So let's go back to the tile map menu, select our new tree layer, and then select the
She's talking about trees there.
place it a few places in our scene.
Here we go, animated tiles.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to my porting the sprite sheet for our tile animation.
So I got to that bit on my own.
In our art folder in Godot, and I think I'm also just going to change its name to animated flower. Now click and drag the new sprite sheet into the tileset menu, and this time we don't need Godot to automatically create the tiles in the atlas, so click no when asked about this. Now let's zoom in on the sprite sheet we just imported. The simplest way to make an animated tile requires the frames to be next to each other in a row like this in the sprite sheet. We only need to create a tile for the first frame of our animation. So right click on the sprite for the first frame and select create a tile. To animate the tile, we first make sure it's selected, then we go to the animation properties and open.
Right, okay. I knew there was the word animation somewhere, but so I've created a tile there. So what I had to do is hit select and then go, here's the word animation, not here, right? So that was in my memory, right? And the word animation. Okay, let's see if I can remember without being prompted. So I think it's animation. Coordinates are like, the separation is none because they are next to each other. But I'm guessing if you had some that were separated somehow, you could specify that with this separation field. Speed, I'm going to do 0.4. That's what she kind of does in the demo. So it will change frames every 0.4 seconds. Frames. Oh wait, no, not here. Let's leave that. Whatever it was before. Right. We can do random start times. That's interesting. We'll play with that in a minute. So first frame, I want it to be 0.4. Right. Second frame, I want it to be 0.4. Add element, and I see they're naturally bumping over to the right. 0.4. Probably use tab to get through some of this stuff. Oh yeah, I can. Interesting. That might make things a bit quicker actually. All right. So that is that. Is that all I have to do? Seems too simple for old Godot. So let's go to tile map now. So these are all highlighted, which suggests that they sort of run in sequence. Let's grab one, and it looks like it's animating. Cool. Okay, so let's just try to recreate that. Go back to tileset, hit select, select that, animation, frames. I've got my 4 frames. If I wanted them to be slightly different, I could change the duration around. Let's put 0.3 here. That's barely perceptible. Let's try this random start times thing and see if that is actually noticeable. Cool, right, I'm going to save that. I'm going to hit play scene. And there they go. Oh, look. Animated flowers. I'm really happy with that, actually. This looks like an Easter egg here. I think I'm going to move it. Where was I? Tile map. There we go. Let's pop that one down there. Let's play the whole world. There we go. Now that may not seem like like a lot, but honestly, some of this makes so much sense, and some of it just seems so alien, and I just feel like I just need to repeat it over and over again in order for it to become second nature. Just repeating that and going back to the tutorial felt a little bit like admitting defeat, but I suppose that's part of the learning process as well. So what I'm going to do next time is, I think I'm just going to stick to this whole process of following along with the tutorial and then going back and duplicating and saving and trying to repeat what I did before. That seems like a good system. So I'll be re-watching this video. If you have any comments at all about like better workflow things that I should start doing now, like maybe ways to use tab or certain keyboard shortcuts that already exist or that I could set that would make things easier, I'd love to hear about that now at this early stage, because then I can kind of build that into the learning and have it with me by the time I'm a bit more proficient. There's no coding in this one, but if you're a Godot user and you know about like the code that runs behind this stuff and you're interested in sharing, then I'd love to have a chat with you about that. So you can leave a comment if you want to, and I'll reply and probably go over it on the next video as well. So I'm looking forward to that. If you've enjoyed this, if you're on Twitch, please consider leaving me a follow. And if you're watching on YouTube, please consider leaving me a like, and you could even subscribe as well if you wanted to catch the next one. I'm looking forward to rewatching this because I guess I enjoy watching myself suffer. But thanks so much, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye for now. Where's OBS? There it is. Oh look, I could have done. Could have made my camera all big. Been like, bye from the cat and my Viennese whirls that I didn't eat, which I'm going to go and have now. Laters.